we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody. These people that you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried. We've tried. Everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it? These are very, in many ways, they're very, very special people.
Dear God, if any other politician gave that interview, that would be the strangest thing they'd have ever said. And I understand that we'll all forget about this by next week, but every bit of that was strange. This is classic Trump, who before he ran for president used to just call up Fox News and bore them with long, rambling, racist tirades. So we can't leave our farmers without people. We gotta give them people. So that whole mass deportation thing, it turns out it hurts people I actually care about. So we're gonna make an exception for the farmers because they need these people who are special. These migrants, their backs don't hurt because then they'll die like racehorses who break a leg. They just die if they can't work or something. And we need them because those lazy people in the inner city aren't gonna do it. And those are our only two options that I'm considering. The inner city people or the migrants that I don't care about unless I need them to work for a buddy of mine. And the whole thing, Sharon, is just so disgusting. Like it's presented as if he's complimenting these people whose lives he's ruining, who he demonizes every day. And yet all of it is designed to be like, oh, they're basically animals, They can do this work and no good white person can do it at this point. What do you think?
It's reminiscent of Jimmy the Greek. Were they bred to have these strong backs? Were they perhaps bred to be able to perform this kind of work where others were not? They were more intellectual. He sounds like an old bigot, an old fool, an old racist who, Strom Thurmond would be proud of, okay? And I think he should just duck out now. CBS was smart enough to fire Jimmy the Greek. Will the American people be wise enough, empowered enough after all of the stealing of democracy to get rid of this guy?
I mean, if you're relying on the American people to save us, we don't have a great track record. We do sometimes come through. They rejected his ass in 2020, but I don't know. We'll see. He is unpopular, even his immigration policy. Here's a suggestion. Rather than just like, well, we're not gonna have the migrants and then those damn inner cityers won't do it. How about you say, all of my MAGA people, I need you to do your patriotic duty and get out there and pick some vegetables or whatever. You notice that that's not an option. He doesn't consider that. Or how about this? How about you tell those farmers to pay their workers more and to attract other people? Again, like he is admitting there that the myth that they spread, that migrants come here and they steal your jobs you're desperately trying to get, and they steal the food out of your mouth or whatever, which again, even if that was the case, why aren't you mad at the employers for employing them? Why are you mad at the workers struggling to survive? Evidently wasn't true. No, they're not stealing your jobs. You don't want them. Nobody would do that job except for them. So I guess we'll allow them in. And so he's working on, every week it's a different plan. It's basically work visas. He wants to be able to establish work visas and keep the status quo when it comes to farm workers, but pretend to his base that he's being really hardcore when it comes to immigration. The issue is that he's being stretched between two horses, okay? The xenophobic base and the farm owners who just want their workers or whatever. I think in the end, it's the rich people who are gonna win out would be my guess. But that said, why don't we turn to another topic when it comes to this mass deportation and its consequences? We talked about ICE setting up insane and insulting recruitment incentives a few weeks ago, or a few days ago actually, including student debt cancellation. The only way in Trump's America you can get your debt canceled is if you join up with ICE, I guess. Well, the DHS recently launched yet another financial incentive and almost immediately pulled it. So this started literally yesterday, okay? It was gonna be a 30-day pilot program wherein ICE would hand out $200 bonus bonuses for each immigrant deported within 7 days of being arrested, and 100 for those deported within 2 weeks. So basically setting up a bounty system for migrants, which accomplishes a few goals. It teaches these ICE employees to think of the migrants even less as humans than they already did, instead just as a payday for them potentially. And it also inspires them to rush the process as much as possible. You know, that foolproof system that sends people to CCOT who weren't supposed to be deported in the first place, or sends them to the wrong country, or sends American citizens abroad. You're now saying rush as much as possible and I will pay you to cut corners. That's what they're doing. Although honestly, now they're not actually doing it because they pulled it almost instantly. And so less than 4 hours after they started this thing, the agency abruptly canceled it. Liana Castano, an official in ICE's Field Operations Division, sent an email saying, please disregard. And the spokesperson for Homeland Security said the program had not been authorized by agency leaders, adding that no such policy is in effect or has ever been in effect. Which is not true. It was in effect for a few hours. They're trying to do a 1984 thing where it was never we were never at war with East Asia or whatever. But anyway, the email canceling the program was sent shortly after the New York Times inquired about its existence. And so one is left wondering, if the New York Times had not done a follow-up about this, would the system still be in effect? Will the system be in effect in a day or in a week when people have moved on? They seem to want to do it. What do you think, Sharon?
Yeah, or maybe they're still doing it. They're just doing it in a different kind of sneaky way. Who knows? You know, likely some lawyer got involved and said, okay, now they're asking about it. This might not be, might not be able to do this. It's probably not a good idea. Or let's just lay low for a little while, you know? And we don't need all these ICE agents disappearing people, by the way. But hey, if you pay them enough, these bounty hunters will come.
Yeah, this entire thing is all really gross. I mean, just the revelation that America does not have money to support anyone except the machinery of our fascist regime. If you join up with that, oh, you've got it made in the shade. We'll buy you a house, we'll shower you with money, cancel debt. And they can afford to do it. ICE can afford to do it. This isn't even fiscally irresponsible for the organization, considering that they've been handed over $100 billion by Trump. There's money for that, not for you, not for your family, not for your health insurance, not for infrastructure, not for medical research. We're not doing any of that stuff anymore. So all that is grotesque. And the fact that they're appealing to people with like, oh yeah, you see that family? It's like, you know, a mom and her 2 kids. No. That's $600 you could make. Get rid of them. Ship them out. Don't listen to them talking about it. Oh, I want a lawyer. Oh, I'm actually an American citizen. Screw that stuff. You could be making bank if you ship them out of here. And unfortunately, I think there are probably enough right-wingers who will sign up. They'll get a kick out of this and make a little bit of money along the way. This is not how you run anything approaching a legal organization, an ethical organization, but I think they're gonna find people who think it's appealing.
Next, it'll be rewards, by the way.
What's that?
Sorry, John. Next, it'll be rewards. Turn in your neighbor and you will get, you know, $300, $500, $1,000.
Don't even put that out there because I am honestly shocked that they have not already set that up.
Me too.
They'll do that.